Championships and all the sponsors, we welcome you at World Samba Championships 2019, Cheongju, Republic of Korea.
여러분의 안녕하십니까. 2019 청주 세계 삼보 선수권대회에 오신 삼보연맹 및 신인 내빈 여러분들을 환영합니다.
The final block of competitions will start in 1 minute from now.
결승전은 지금부터 약 1분 후인 오후 6시부터 시작될 예정입니다.
We're about to begin today on the second day of the World 2019 World Samba Championships in Cheongju, China for the finals. First, we're going to have a demonstration of visually impaired or blind Samba. In the red, we will have Dmitry Samakovalov, sorry if I messed up that name. He's the winner of the Russian Samba Blind Championship in 2018. He has a complete loss of vision during his military service, his military duty. In blue, we have Andrei Demidov, also of Russia. He's a Russian champion in blind Sambo as well in 2018. And he's a pupil of an orphanage. Loss of vision was due to an injury. The referee for the exhibition is Viktor Ignatenko from Russia. He's the senior coach of the Russian national team in blind Samba and referee of the international category in Samba as well. Right now you see the participants displaying some of the throws and takedowns of Samba. Very smooth into a leg lock, that takedown. As you can see, they're starting with their grips. A nice cartwheel out of the takedown there by Demidov into a counter takedown. Nice. Here we have Demidov doing a rolling knee bar. Again, both participants maintain body contact and grips on the kurka. Here we have a nice takedown by Demidov into a knee bar. Here Demidov does a flying arm bar as well. Again, regaining contact, grips to start. Demidov rolls through with a nice knee bar from the standing. Demidov rolls through with a back handspring off of his opponent after taking him down. And does a backflip as well into a handstand. And Demidov drops into a split, doing a little bit of a break dance there, it looks like. Very nice demonstration. And referee Ignatenko is in the middle and holds both hands up as victory. Victory for Sambo as well. It's great to see the sport expanding into the visually impaired world. And we're getting ready to start moving into the finals themselves. As our participants in the blind Samba exit the mat area. The first final will be in the women's 52 kilogram category. In the red from Russia will be Diana Ryabova. And in the blue from France will be Julia Rosso. Again, the French have shown in several world championships a very strong representation, especially amongst their women's sambas. And we're getting ready to start here. The handshake. And we have both competitors approaching pretty aggressively, working for grips. We have a strong grip by the Russian competitor. Going in for a rolling knee ankle lock, I'm sorry. And she's transitioning, still working for the legs as a Russian fighter. Looks like she switched to a knee bar, and she got the submission by the knee bar there. Very smooth, very quick. So Diana Ryabova from Russia wins with a very nice knee bar, transitioning originally from a ankle or Achilles lock into the knee bar. Julia Rosso from France getting the silver in the World Championship. Looks like in the next match here, it'll be the 57 kilo men's sport sambo. It is with the Georgian athlete Vashtangi Chidrashvili, and he will be going, who's going to be in red, and he will be competing against Sayan Kurtak from Russia, who will be in blue. This again is the 57 kilo. All these athletes fought all day today in the preliminary elimination rounds and have made it here to the final. And we're getting ready to start as the athletes come out to do the handshake. And Kurtak quickly comes out to a grip, being defended by Chidrashvili from Georgia. Working toward the edge of the mat here. The Russian fighter, the Georgian fighter went sort of for a takedown. The Russian fighter avoided it very quickly. Again, the Kurtak from Russia is being very aggressive, moving quickly forward to obtain his grips. Both their athletes now have grips and are squared off. Trying to jockey for position here. A quick drop takedown attempt, light attempt by the Russian athlete on the Georgian. The Georgian got a passivity call, penalty. They're working in. Again, the Russian goes for another drop shoulder throw. which was defended well by the Georgian. The Georgian is working on top now. Defended well by Kurtek from Russia. Back to our feet here. Again, both athletes working hard to control the grips and not give up a dominant grip to their opponent. Okay, Kurtek moves in aggressively, but defended well in the grip by Chidrishvili from Georgia. Both athletes trying not to concede that dominant grip. Both athletes have one hand on, fighting, still grip fighting. Chidrishvili got a quick two-hand and went for a drop shoulder throw, defended well by the Russian athlete. Russian athlete was given a passivity call. The Georgian has 1 point. Chidrishvili dropped, looking like maybe he was going to try and go for an armbar. Quickly defended by Kurtek from Russia. Athletes brought back to their feet. Chidrishvili and Kurtek now both have two hands on their grips. Very tough tactical match here. Neither athlete want to give up a dominant grip, which is making the attacks very hard. The Russian drops to try and do a sacrifice. They both pop back up, followed by a quick drop shoulder throw attempt by the Georgian. Now they're both back on their feet battling. Both remaining very low with tight grips. Russian athlete went in to try and get a nice trip and then reach for possibly maybe a single, and was very effectively defended by Chidrishvili from Georgia. Both athletes back to their feet again. And another drop shoulder throw attempt by Kurtek from Russia. Quickly defended by the Georgian, who is now attempting to possibly attack from the back for a arm bar, which was defended. Both athletes being brought to their feet. Very tactical match here. Neither athlete trying to give an advantage up. Maybe a little bit conservative on both sides. Again, both athletes one hand on up. The Georgian now has two hands in their grip. The Georgians trying to battle inside. Both sleeve battling the sleeve grips. Both athletes. Kurtek from Russia pushed very hard against the Georgian, trying to get an inside leg trip, and was effectively defended by the Georgian. Still 1-0 here in favor of the Georgian. The grips are on again, up, back side sacrifice throw attempt by the Georgian was effectively defended by Kurtek from Russia. Both athletes back to the feet again. Again, battling for the grips. Very, no one really getting a clear advantage in the grip fighting so far. The Georgian fighter attempted to maybe go for an armbar that was defended by the Russian, but so both athletes back to their feet again. The Russian fighter went underneath, short of for a variation of a fireman's carry. And the winner, as time ran out, is Vakalangi Chidrashvili from Georgia. Just 1-0 over Sayan Kurtek from Russia. Very strong match. Vakalangi Chidrashvili from Georgia, the 2019 57 kilograms men's sports Samba champion. Between the two of those athletes, you saw some very strong grip fighting. Both athletes having a very hard time getting an advantage on the other. The next match is the 62 kilogram combat Samba men's championship between Fedor Doryamanov from Russia, who will be in red, and Karen Berdy Doilatov from Turkmenistan, who will be in blue. Both of these athletes fought several matches today, had some strong battles to end themselves in this final. Doryamanov will be in red again, and Doilatov will be in blue. And we have Russia versus Turkmenistan. The athletes coming to the center, showing good sportsmanship, handshake, and the bout has commenced. Both athletes doing a little movement, some feigning. We have nice hand strikes by Turkmenistan, followed by a trade of headbutts and some knees and kicks. Attempted a drop shoulder throw by the Russian, defended well by the Turkmen. The athletes again circling each other. Both athletes being a little bit tentative here, feeling each other out. We have the Russian athlete kind of waded right in to get his grips, responded with headbutts from the Turkmen. Now both athletes are exchanging headbutts. Back grip by the Turkmenistan fighter, who dropped for an armbar attempt, effectively defended by Doryamanov from Russia. Both athletes being brought back to their feet. And the Turkmen athlete being penalized for passivity. Athletes are circling. Feeling each other out. Nice little jab there, just to test distance by the Turkmen. A little hand combination there by the Russian athlete. A big front kick by the Turkmen fighter, effectively evaded by the Russian. Both athletes seem to be jockeying for position. Nice attempt at a double leg takedown by the Turkmen, effectively defended by the Russian athlete. Still a 0-0, 0-0 here. One passivity penalty, two passivity penalties now for the Turkmen fighter, and 1 point for the Russian. Both athletes eyeing each other up, jockeying for position. Not a lot of attacks going on. Still the same thing, a little pawing jab by the Russian athlete. Okay, the Russian athlete working in quick for a grip and a drop shoulder throw. And right two punches into the Turkmen fighter who was turtled up. The Russian fighter got 2 points for the drop shoulder throw. And we're back to the middle of the mat. It's 3-0 now for the Russian athlete. Both athletes again circling, not throwing too much. As I say that, the Turkmen leads with a nice left-right combination. Both athletes seem to feel jockey for position and then a quick explosion. Not a lot of action in between at this point. More jockeying for position and distance. Again, they're still maneuvering, still eyeing each other. Some feints here and there. A little kick from the Russian there. And a lot of feints, a lot of jockeying for position, not a lot of straight. Good quick right-left combo from the Turkmen fighter after a little kick from the Russian athlete. Russian athlete doing a little short inside shin kicks. The headbutts are back and forth. They both seem to like sharing them. And a little knee from the Russian athlete. Both athletes gripped up. A drop by the Turkmen. Looked like maybe he was going to try and work for an armbar, effectively defended by the Russian athlete. Adjusting his gears, the Turkmen fighter. And back to the middle and back to maneuvering for an advantage here. Big left head kick by the Turkmen fighter, followed by a left-right combination. Another left-right. The Turkmen is becoming much more aggressive now, probably looking at the score in less than a half minute. He dropped for a double leg, quickly defended by the Russian athlete, who's now battling on top, trying to gain position. Effectively defended from the bottom by the Turkmen, not giving up position. Both athletes are back to their feet. Again, only 10 seconds left. Big kick by the Turkmen fighter. He missed in a right-left combo. And the match is over. The 2019 62-kilogram combat Samba world champion is Fedor Doryamanov from Russia. A silver medal going to Doryamanov from Turkmenistan. Very nice effort throughout the day by both of these athletes. The Russian athlete was a little bit more aggressive with the takedown attempts in that bout, which I think helped obviously lead him to that victory. And so that's the end of the block one, and we'll now be moving to the medal stand. Seeing the highlights here, they're showing the Combat Samba 62 kilogram championship. We did see a lot of headbutts in that match between both athletes. And then we're back to the medal stand for the women's 52 kilogram. For the bronze medal in this division, we'll have two athletes, one from Venezuela, one from Belarus. And Marina Shaska from Belarus will be the first bronze medalist, followed by Luisania Campos from Venezuela. Silver medalist will be Julio Rosso from France. Again, the French have very strong women's representation in several world championships. The athletes are not only receiving their medals, but a monetary award as well. Diana Ryabova from Russia is the gold medalist. As you notice, all athletes in the award stand wear a red kirkas, red uniforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Russian Federation.
We'll move on to the national anthem.
Let's give the medalists a round of applause.
All the women join each other on the medal stand together. A group picture. Next up for the medal stand is going to be the men's 57 kilogram sports sambo world champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is time the medal ceremony for men, 57 kilos.
These athletes are entering the stage now.
Please welcome the medalists.
We have athletes on the stand from Uzbekistan, Mongolia, Georgia, and Russia.
Bronze medalist from Mongolia.
The first bronze medalist will be from Mongolia, Marel Indian Chimidorish. And then the second bronze medalist will be from Uzbekistan, of Azbek Abdullah Jilov. And again, the athletes are not only receiving a medal award, but a monetary award as well for their efforts today.
Silver medalist from Russian Federation.
And the silver medalist today is Cyan Kurtek from Russia. A very tough match with his Georgian counterpart.
Gold medalist and world champion from Georgia.
And the gold medal goes to the Georgian athlete, Batangi Chidrashvili. Very nice final match between those two athletes from Georgia and Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Georgia.
And we'll take a little break for the national anthem from Georgia. All the athletes joining each other again in the middle of the award stand. Nice sportsmanship being shown by everybody. It's very nice to see after a hard day of battling each other that all these athletes come together as friends when the day is done. And preparing to come up next. The last medals being awarded before we start competition again. Restart the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the medal ceremony for combat Samba on 62 kilos.
And the athletes from the 62 kilograms men's combat sambo awardees are entering the stage now.
Bronze medalist from Kyrgyzstan. Bronze medalist from
So the first bronze medalist is from Kyrgyzstan, Ermi Kaparov. And the second one from Tajikistan is Sorban Latifov. Both getting their bronze medals.
silver medalist from Turkmenistan.
And the silver medalist from Turkmenistan, Karimbendi Davletov is on the stage receiving his medal.
Gold medalist and the world champion from Russia.
The world champion gold medalist for the 62 kilogram men's combat sambo is from Russia, and it's Fedor Doryamanov. Again, as you notice, all athletes dressed in red for the awards. And now we'll have the national anthem for the champions nation of Russia. The athletes have all joined themselves after the anthem in the middle of the award stand. Again, in another show of good sportsmanship. Getting ready to restart the finals. And the first match, once we restart, will be the women's 64 kilogram. The match will be between Tatiana Matsko from Belarus, who will be in blue, and Ekaterina Onoprenko from Russia, who will be in red. The athletes are working their way to the mat. Both women did very well today, earning their position in this final. Nice sign of sportsmanship with the handshake, and here we go. Some aggressive gripping going on. Your Russian athlete working to the top position on the attempt by Belarus. And the referee's bringing them back to their feet as they stalemated on the ground. Again, aggressive grip fighting by both of these women. Nice inside trip for the Russian on the Belarusian. As she's up now 5-0. And they rolled out of bounds, battling on the ground on that follow-up from the nice takedown by the Russian. A little bit slower this time. Up a quick grabbing attempt there by the Russian, who's now aggressively attacking. She took the Belarusian to the mat, but for no points as she landed on her knees. The Belarusian looks like suffered an injury, maybe to her wrist, and conceded the match to the Russian athlete. Ekaterina Onoprenko is the 2019 64-kilogram women's world champion. Unfortunately, the Belarusian athlete, like I said, appears to suffer some kind of injury to make her concede. Not taking anything away from the Russian athlete's efforts up to that point, as she was very aggressive and in the lead at the end of the match. Next up will be the men's 74-kilogram sports sambo world championship. In red, you have from Russia Valery Kurshev, and from Belarus in blue you have Stepan Popov. And again, these athletes have battled all day to get to where they are in this final. And here we go. Nice sign of handshake, sign of sportsmanship. And the match has begun. Working in for grips. Stepan going right down with a high grip, trying to grab a knee for a takedown. Defended effectively by the Russian athlete. A Russian athlete does a drop for sacrifice for 1 point on a takedown, stalemated on the ground and brought back to their feet. It's 1-0 for the Russian athlete. Okay, working out on the grips. The Russian being much more aggressive at this point, going in for a nice attempted fireman's. Got 1 point out of it. He's in the top position, but effectively defended by Popov, and both athletes being brought to their feet. 2-0 for the Russian athlete at this point. Coming back out again, strong gripping attempts by the Russian athlete. And a Russian attempted a drop shoulder throw attempt, and then he rolled into another attempted side sacrifice, which was effectively defended, though the Belarusian received a passivity penalty for his lack of attacks. Popov brought to the edge of the mat, dropped for an armbar attempt, and it was effectively negated by the Russian athlete. They're into the middle of the mat again on their feet. Russian athlete has both grips, rolled for a side sacrifice, was stopped by Popov. He then tried to roll to a knee bar, also defended by the Belarusian athlete. Khrushchev's being very aggressive here, Popov being a little more restrained. Popov went back there in the defense and got attempted a takedown, no points. Popov now has the ankle of the Russian athlete. They went out. A nice aggressive attack on the ankle from the standing position. Both athletes in the middle now, on their feet. Working for a grip. Both of them feeling each other out, being a little bit tentative here. The Russian, of course, is in the lead, so maybe being a little bit more cautious than he was until he got the lead. He has his grips. Working toward the edge of the mat, he attacks. Popov attempted a scissors takedown when they were out of bounds. Russian athlete, smart. He's got his opponent, the Belarusian, towards the edge of the mat, forced him out, and a passivity penalty given to Popov from Belarus, giving a 3-0 lead to the Russian athlete. Popov gave a subtle attempt at a drop shoulder throw, defended effectively by the Russian athlete. Both athletes being brought back to their feet. In the middle of the mat, and back to battling for grips. Russian came in strong. He has a nice strong grip there. Dropped under for attempted fireman's. Effectively defended by Popov, who's going right back to the leg. And the ref stops it. Athletes are being brought back to the middle of the mat, and we're back at it. The Russian athlete being not overly aggressive, but more aggressive in this match, and I think the point spread is showing it. He tried a drop sacrifice there. It was defended by Popov, then went right to the armbar, also effectively defended by the Belarusian athlete. Back to their feet in the middle. Grips quickly attained here. Russian athlete dropped for a pseudo drop shoulder throw, which was easily defended by the Belarusian athlete. The Russian athlete is going to receive a passivity penalty himself, and we're back. Walks in. Popov has a nice back grip. Looked like he went for a little bit of an inner thigh throw. Judo would call it Ushimata. It was defended very well. We're back on our feet. We're back in the grips. A little bit over a minute to go with a 3-0 lead for the Russian. Oh, the Belarusian Popov quickly attacked with a one-hand grip, grabbing a knee, taking the Russian fighter down for 1 point. It's 3-1. Nice quick attack there. Both athletes back to their feet now, though. Russian athlete worked in for attempt at the fireman's, which was quickly defended by Popov from Belarus. Russian athlete, after gripping, dropped for a back sacrifice. Again, defended by Popov. Close match here, 3-1. The Russian athlete more aggressive. Popov has a back grip. Attempted takedown by the Russian fighter, easily defended by Popov until they went out of bounds, being brought back in both at their feet again. Grip fighting here. Popov has back rolling sacrifice by the Russian. Very nice. Defended to a degree by Popov. Didn't give up a lot of points, but he gave up that one. He's down 4-1 now. He dropped for a attempted scissors into an Achilles lock or ankle lock, and it was effectively defended by the Russian. And the Russian Khrushchev is the 2019 men's 74 kilogram world champion. Vali Khrushchev, very nice match. Stepan Popov fought hard, will get a silver medal for his day's effort, but the Russian athlete was definitely more aggressive throughout this match. Saw a lot of leg attempts, leg attacks by Popov, but all effectively defended by Khrushchev from Russia. The final match in this little block before we go to the medal stand again is the men's 82 kilogram combat Sambo World Championship. We're gonna have Edebek Shakarmatov from Kyrgyzstan in red, and Asiembek Katsayev from Russia in blue. Asiembek Katsayev in blue, Edebek Shakir Mamatov in red from Kyrgyzstan. The athletes walk into the center of the match. Good sportsmanship shown there before we start this match, and here we go. More squared stance by the Kyrgyz fighter. More traditional boxing style stance up. Big punch attempt by the Kyrgyz fighter into a takedown by the Russian fighter, who's now working to try and obtain a dominant position. Effectively neutralized by the Kyrgyz fighter, and they're back to their feet. Athletes moving around. A more boxing style stance by the Russian, more squared off stance by the Kyrgyz. Russian walks in, gets a two-hand grip quickly, Both are battling with grips on each other. The Kyrgyz fighter tried to defend a nice inside trip by the Russian, but the Russian was effective. He is now up 5-0, and he's battling for dominant position on the top. And it looks like he has it. Nice strong hold down from the side. He's in there low hips, nice chest control. And Kyrgyz fighter having a very hard time moving there. Nice, strong, stable stance. And the world champion, 9-0 from Russia is Aslambek Katsayev in blue. Silver medal to Edebek Shakir Mamatov from Kyrgyzstan. Both athletes had a very successful day today and put on a nice fight there. Showing the highlights here, you see the nice aggressive attacks earlier in the 74 kilo sports sambo championship match. Yeah, Papa numerous times went for the legs without success in the earlier match. But the Russian fighter was not submitted, defended well, and ended up the ultimate victor. Getting ready for the medals. The first medals will go to the women's 64 kilogram division, Sports Samba. Of course, right now women are only compete in Sports Samba at the World Championship. And the women are entering the stage. The athletes from Bulgaria, Kazakhstan, Belarus, and Russia. So from Kazakhstan, the bronze medalist is going to be Aja Salikov. And from Bulgaria, Vanya Vanova. They're both the bronze medals for the women's 64 kilogram division. So the silver medals will be from Belarus, Tatiana Matsko. Unfortunately, in her final match against the Russian, she appeared to suffer maybe a wrist or hand injury that caused her to concede the match. though the Russian athlete was controlling the match up until that point.
Gold medalist and the world champion 2019 from Russia.
금메달 득자 세계 챔피언입니다. 러시아
Yekaterina Onoprienko.
And from Russia, the gold medalist, the 2019 64 kilogram women's champion, Yekaterina Onoprienko from Russia. Again, I apologize for destroying anyone's names. But a very good day by these young ladies. They are, again, receiving not just medals for their efforts, but monetary awards. Now we'll have the Russian national anthem. As the women all join each other in the middle of the award stand, showing good sportsmanship, as has been a common theme here by all athletes. Battle hard on the mats, get at it very aggressively all day, but in the end of the day, all the athletes showing great sportsmanship and friendship.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we start the medal ceremony from men on 74 kilos.
남자 74kg 시상식을 시작하겠습니다.
Please welcome the athletes.
And the 74 kilogram men's medalists, sports Samba, are entering the stage now to receive their just awards for very hard effort all day long as well.
Bronze medalist representing Mongolia.
The first medalist will be the bronze medalist from Mongolia, Katpato Narakov. And the second bronze medalist from the country of Georgia, Livan Nagoshvili.
Silver medalist from Belarus.
Silver medal is going to go to Belarus's Stepan Popov. lot of people outside of the Samba world, when they think of Samba, think it's basically focused on leg locks, and an athlete like Stepan Popo definitely is someone that tries to use the leg locks. And the 2019 74 kilograms men's sports Samba world champion is Khrushchev from Russia. Fought very well in the final. Valery Khrushchev. And we're going to have the Russian national anthem for the victor.
Russian Federation.
러시아의 국가가 연주하겠습니다.
The athletes here from the 74 kilogram men's sports Samba joining each other in the middle of the stage in good sportsmanship. The press taking a lot of pictures, as they have done of all of the award winners. Very nice. As they exit the stage, the next athletes that are going to be joining the stage will be from the 82 kilogram combat Sambo men, of course. Seeing some highlights here of the athletes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start the medal ceremony for combat Samba under 82 kilos.
이어서 관매상봉 82kg 시상식을 시작합니다.
Let's welcome the athletes.
선수들을 환영해 주십시오.
And the 82 kilogram combat Samba men's medalists are entering the stage now. From Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Russia.
Bronze medalist from Kazakhstan.
동메달리스트 카자흐스탄.
The first bronze medalist is from Kazakhstan, Asayabek Smilov. Sorry if I said that wrong. And the second bronze medals will be from the country of Belarus. Yevgeny Alexeyevich.
Silver medalist from Kyrgyzstan.
은메달리스트 키르기스스탄.
Alternate Shaki Mamado.
And the silver medalist from Kyrgyzstan, Edipek Shekar Mamamatov. 2019 world champion, combat Samba, men's 82 kilograms. He's from the country of Russia, Asyanbek Katsayev. And the national anthem of Russia will be played for the winner of this division. As appears to be a tradition, all the athletes are joining each other in the middle of the medal stand in good sportsmanship. Combat Sambo, you really exhibited some aggressive action towards your opponent, and it's very nice to see that that's all it is of course, by the rules on the mats, but friendship afterwards. We're going to restart the competition here. And the first division will be the women's 80 kilogram sports samba. Of course, in the World Championship, all women's athletes are sports samba. In the red, you have Myra Oryashkova, I'm sorry, from Bulgaria. And in the blue, Raya Takahashi in red from Japan. Well, both women aggressively move toward each other to get a grip. The Bulgarian athlete being maneuvered toward the edge of the legal mat space. Both women have grips. And the whistle plays blown dead. The passivity is given to the Japanese athlete. Now they're back battling for grips, which they both have quickly obtained two hands, and then they broke from each other. In the middle of the mat, both battling for grips. More dominant grip by the Belarusian athlete right now. And the referee has stopped action again. Both athletes now with a passivity penalty. Referee, you're trying to encourage some attacks here. The Bulgarian athlete being forced towards the edge of the legal mat space again by the Japanese athlete. Japanese athlete moves in to attack. Sidestep by the Bulgarian as she, the Japanese athlete, tried an outside leg reap, effectively defended by the Bulgarian athlete. Restarted back to the middle of the mat. Bulgarian athlete attempts a drop side sacrifice, easily defended by the Japanese athlete. And we're back up and back to the grips. Japanese athlete has her grips now. The Bulgarian athlete again tried a drop side sacrifice, which was effectively defended. The Bulgarian athlete has 1 point because of passivity penalty against the Japanese athlete. Japanese athlete was gripping over the top, looked like she was going to go for a body drop, and the effectively defended by the Bulgarian athlete. We're back to the middle of the mat. Again, tight, working in tight for some grips here. And the Bulgarian athlete, for about the third time, attempted that kind of drop side sacrifice. But the Japanese athlete was working toward the top on the ground. Women both brought back to the middle of the mat. Japanese athlete looking like she was trying to get that high top left-hand grip. And the Bulgarian athlete again dropped sort of for a sacrifice. The Japanese athlete ended up on top. And the fans a little upset with the ref's call breaking that, I think. Japanese athlete went for an arm wrap body drop, and she got it. She got 1 point. And the referee stopped the action on the ground, bringing her back to her feet. Okay, the Bulgarian in for a double leg takedown from back, dropped the Japanese athlete to her belly, getting 1 point. Bulgarian athlete is working from the top on the ground. Looks like she's trying to get the arm out, but maybe got the leg in front of the head now, so the attack's much more aggressive on that arm. Japanese athlete so far is holding it pretty good. Bulgarian is still fighting hard to try and pull it out. She may try and roll her over here. The Bulgarian athlete may try and roll the Japanese athlete over. So far, the Japanese athlete is not being rolled. She's defending that well. Fans are not happy with the ref allowing this to go. The Japanese athlete now is walking over the body of the Bulgarian athlete, and the ref has broken the armbar attempt. Athlete's back to her feet in the middle. The Bulgarian athlete drops to both knees. An attempted pseudo single. Japanese athlete gets her grip, and time runs out. 2-1, Bulgaria over Japan. The fans are not very happy.
Gold medalist and the world champion from Bulgaria.
금메달리스트이자 세계 챔피언, 불가리아.
So Maria Orishkova from Bulgaria is the 2019 women's 80 kilogram world champion. Silver medal going to a very strong fighter from Japan, appeared to be maybe fan favorite, Takahashi. Here we see some of the highlights of some of Takahashi's attacks. There we see a nice highlight of the double leg takedown by the Bulgarian athlete. We're now getting ready for the second match in this block. The men's 100 kilogram sports Samba World Championship. Davide Lorishvili from Georgia in red is the first athlete. And Ruslav Kiselev from Russia will be in blue. And he's second heaviest weight class for men's Samba at this time before the new changes come to play in the future, where that weight will be a 98 kilo. That development came with the new suggested rule changes. Here we go as the athletes are working for grips. Both athletes together working in tight for some tight grips. Neither liked it, and both broke away. We're back at it. Good engagement. Again, you're seeing strong men fighting for strong grips. Lorishvili has two inside grips, or two lapel grips. He broke it away. He's around the back now with one hand. Kiselev dropped down for attempted fireman's, which was effectively blocked by Lorishvili from Georgia. Lorishvili got a passivity call from the referee. Probably as much to encourage some activity here from the athletes as anything. Both up. And Lorishvili with a strong attack with a high lapel grip, grabbing the knee, driving through. And getting 1 point on the Russian athlete. Very nice attack. They're back to their feet, both in the middle. Both athletes disengaging the opponent's grips and working for their own, and even disengaging totally to regrip. Both inside. The Russian athlete, Kiselev, has both lapels. Oh, he lost one. Oh, no, he still has them. A lot of strong grip fighting here between these athletes. Nice inside leg trip was attempted by Kiselev from Russia. Tight grips here between both athletes. Georgian right now, both on the same side sleeve. Same side lapel sleeve it is. Kiselev disengaged. Neither one can concede advantage to the other. It's some nice gripping here between both athletes. Lorishvili, Drop shoulder throw attempt by Kiselev of Lurishvili, but effectively defended. Nice defense by the Georgian, nice attack by the Russian. Both of the big men working inside again. Real strong grip fighting between these two athletes. Neither one can concede anything. It's not the first time we saw if the Russian sticks that leg out that Lurishvili tries to grab it. Back to their feet, battling in the middle of the mat. Lurishvili drops attempted fireman's, effectively blocked by Kiselev from Russia. Both athletes battling hard for grips. Kiselev from Russia again drops for attempted drop shoulder throw. That one was easily defended by the Georgian athlete. Back to the middle. Again, we have really strong grip fighting going on between these two athletes. Neither one wanting to concede anything, disengaging if they even feel that their opponent has the advantage. A little foot sweep attempt by the Russian athlete. Another one. Almost a little kick. Actually, that one was by the Lurishvili. Lurishvili tried a double leg. It was from a distance, easily defended by the Russian athlete. Strong grip here by Kiselev. Passivity given to the Georgian, and it's 1-1 here. Passivity penalty that it was. And the Georgian fighter hooked the one leg, drug the Russian athlete down. The Russian athlete getting hit with a passivity. Because of the type of leg lock it looked like he attempted to do. And he's down 3-1 now. Seconds remaining here. The Georgian obviously Georgian came in for a quick attempt at a back sacrifice throw. A little bit too late, effectively defended by the Russian athlete. And the gold medal is going to be awarded to Ruslan Kiselev, who is the 2019 Samba World Champion for the 100 kilo men's sports Samba. Very nice battle by both athletes, very close after a long day of battling many opponents. Nice highlights being shown here of this battle between Lurishvili and Kiselev. Georgian athlete obviously frustrated. He battled hard. Understandable. He did not appreciate being hit with that penalty that gave 2 points from the way he grabbed the leg. Losing 3-1. The next match in this block is going to be the combat sambo, plus 100 kilos. In red is going to be Kirill Sedelnikov from Russia. And in blue, from Cameroon, is going to be Nana Maxwell Jantu. Hopefully I said that right. Nana Maxwell Jantu. These are the big boys here. Both of these men are well over 100 kilos. And the athletes are coming in. Sedelnikov and Jantu. Sedelnikov in red from Russia. Jantu in blue from Cameroon. Jantu is opening up from the get-go. Throwing big hands, heavy hands. Little inside kick there. Again, driving that right hand. They're now both gripped up. Sedelnikov, Sedelnikov on top now after attempted takedowns. And with some punches to the side of the head. Passivity being given to the Cameroon fighter for covering up all the punches on the head occurred. Both on the feet. Some inside leg kicks by Jantu. Big punches by Jantu. Sedelnikov more or less covering up at this point. Jantu very aggressive. Quick inside shin kicks, followed by his hands. Sedelnikov more defending right now. Oh, a big right hand by Sedelnikov the minute I say that. Outside leg kick followed by a hard right hand by the Cameroonian fighter. Two right hands, big hands being thrown by Cameroon. And Sedelnikov takes the Cameroon fighter to his belly. Continues with punches to the head. Sedelnikov got the 1 point because of the drive to the belly. And another passivity call. Have a review by the referees here. Maybe no passivity call. Not a review. Okay, uniform. I'm sorry. Thought it was a review by the referees from my position. A little bit blocked. We're fixing up the Cameroon's uniform. Yep, there's that passivity call on Cameroon, giving another point to Russia. Sedelnikov up 2-0. Cameroon not wasting time trying to get those points back. Throwing big bombs with his right hand. Sedelnikov plodding in, throwing some punches of his own. A quick snap down by Sedelnikov. And again, belly turtle down as a Cameroon fighter with Sedelnikov up top punching. Another passivity call. That is it's a good call in my opinion. You turtle up and you're taking those punches, you're going to get that call. Here again, we have both athletes tied up in the middle of the mat. Some knees from Sedelnikov, some punches from Jantu. Oh! A nice attempt there, an outside leg trip by Jantu. Getting 1 point, but he's back in that turtle, taking the punches from Sedelnikov. Again, more punches. Okay, both athletes tied up now. Sadelnikov with inside thigh throw. Effectively defended, he pulled the Cameroon fighter down to the ground, but no points awarded. Doing a little uniform fix on the Russian fighter, Sadelnikov now. Both athletes getting a little bit of a uniform break. Big guys like that, I don't think you'll get much argument out of a little rest. And here they are back to the center of the mat. And right away engaged again. Throw and an outside leg trip tried by Cameroon. Effectively blocked by Sadelnikov. Brought back to their feet, both athletes in the middle of the mat. Moving in again. A big kick and a miss by Cameroon. A little kick, shin kick to the inside shin. So jabs by Sadelnikov as he moves in for a grip. And again, Cameroon going for the throw, going for a forward leg sweeping throw. But it was blocked by Sadelnikov. Both athletes are on top now, or on their feet now, circling. Over the top grip by Cameroon, who misses, blocked by Sadelnikov. They're back to their feet. And Sadelnikov went out of bounds. Now getting hit with a passivity call, which awards 1 point to Cameroon. 4-1 here. A minute and 40 left. Both athletes now a little more tired, so we're seeing some more gripping, and less of those big bombs that were being thrown earlier. Headbutt from Cameroon. He does have the high grip on Sadelnikov. And again, he worked to try and get that outside leg trip, effectively nullified by Sadelnikov. Brought back to the middle of the mat. Both men on their feet. Both throw a couple punches. Cameroon works in for the grip. Both men looking a little bit tired here. Again, these are the big boys, well over 100 kilos each. Cameroon attempts to do a side falling sacrifice, easily nullified by Sadelnikov. Both athletes brought back to their feet. Another, that looks like we're going to have a review here by the referees. Or a meeting by the referees at the head table. Referees coming back. Athletes being brought back to the middle of the mat. And here we go again. The big boys are moving. Again, probably not a lot of argument for a little break even for a referee conference. Grips are in. And a lot more gripping here, a little bit less of the big bombs. Back elbow by Cameroon on the grip attempt by Sadelnikov. Again, both men fighting inside for grips. And an inside thigh throw attempt by the Cameroon fighter, effectively denied by Sadelnikov, who's now on the Cameroon fighter's back. He's throwing punches. Both athletes being brought back to their feet. Only 16 seconds left. And here we go. Last 14 seconds. Big rip by Cameron right now. Sadelnikov defending. Tried an outside leg trip. It was effectively countered by Sadelnikov. Middle of the mat. 5 seconds left. Sadelnikov in defense. And the fight is over. 2019 Combat Sambo 100+ kilo world champion is Kirill Sadelnikov. Silver medal to Nana Maxwell Jontu.
Dear friends, please stay with us because we have 3 more medal ceremonies for tonight.
Now we're going to move to the medal stand. Watching some highlights here of the 100+ kilo final. Again, Sadelnikov being very strategic in the way he was fighting in this match. Medals being brought in for the women's 80 kilogram category. In this category, we're going to have athletes from Spain, Ukraine, Bulgaria, and Japan. The women waiting here patiently for their medals. The first medalist is from Ukraine. Bronze medalist is Helena Galaska. Second medalist from Spain is Paula Martinez, both bronze medalists. Now we'll take a quick little break for the national anthem of Bulgaria. Syriac, Birit Murat from Mongolia, and Andrei Kazusianek, from Belarus. The silver medalist is from Georgia, Davide Lorishvili from Georgia. Samba World Champion for the 100 kilogram men's sports only is Ruslan Kislev. national anthem from Russia. Take a quick break.
Let's give the medalists a round of applause.
Athletes in the join each other in the middle of the medal stand. Good sportsmanship being shown. Still some obvious disappointment in the Georgian athlete's face. Again, the amount of effort and work that these athletes put in to get to where they got on that medal stand. Obviously, gold is what everyone wants. Those athletes are clearing the stand to make way for the 100+ kilo combat Samba men's medals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start medal ceremony on Samba of 100 kilos. Let's welcome the medalists.
This award will see athletes from their sport to stand. plus kilogram men's world champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Russian Federation.
Bye.